are you? Maybe you have your tea or coffee or morning beverage. Hope your morning's going well. My cup is. I actually made this cup for my husband, but I drink out of it more than he does, and it's starting to chip a little. Not chip, but the pictures are starting to like speckle a little bit. I don't know. You can still see them though. It's cute, huh? It's one of my favorite mugs, even though it's not mine. But hello, everyone. So maybe you have or maybe you haven't seen my posts that I have made a commitment to myself and my life and my passion and my purpose that I'm going to show up more courageously vulnerable so that I can create space for myself and for others that this resonates with by having conversations, real life conversations, real talk from my perspective. And so that's what I'm here to do today. I want to talk about questions that I have gotten asked over the years and how my kind of perspective about it has shifted. And I would love to hear from you too, because I'm going to be talking about dreams, I'm going to be talking about doubts, I'm going to be talking about destiny. And I'd love to hear if you want to chime in, if you have dreams, maybe you have personal dreams like in your own life and relationships, maybe you have professional dreams that you want to see happen in your business or your work or whatever that looks like for you. We all have dreams, right? It's funny, my kids were watching Tangled, if you're familiar with the movie Tangled, the other day, and you know that one song in the middle when they go into this pub and there's these like rough and I don't know, tumble pub guys, like, and she starts talking about her dream and they all start singing about dreams, and it kind of like just brings everyone to life and lights everyone up. And that totally just popped in my head. I wasn't planning on saying that, but we all have dreams. It doesn't matter who we are. It doesn't matter what we look like. It doesn't matter like all of the crap that has happened to us in life. Like there's still somewhere inside of us. Maybe we aren't aware of it, but we have some kind of dream, Maybe we let ourselves believe in it. Maybe we don't, but we have dreams, right? Like, or desires, or at the very least, many of us have goals, right? Especially my high achiever folks. Hey, high achiever folks, I'm right there with you, right? We have goals. And, I'm right there with you. So I've had lots of goals in my life too. So anyway, one of the things that for most of my life, not all of my life, it's not like as long as I can remember, but for most of my life, I had wanted to get my doctorate. I had wanted to get my PhD. And the reason why I wanted to get my PhD was different then as it is now. And I was talking with someone, an amazing person. Maybe you're here. Hey, shout out to you. Just the other day. And she was asking me about this because she's on her own journey, whether or not she's going to get her doctorate, whether or not she's going to, full jump into entrepreneurship and things like that. And she was asking me about my experience. I'm so glad she brought this question up because I have it on the list of topics that I want to talk about on my live stream. So I know that this is a question that hasn't just been brought up to me from other people, but other people have it going on in their minds, either for themselves or maybe even you've seen my stuff and you have it for me. So I had wanted to get my doctorate because I felt like maybe then people would care about what I have to say. Maybe then people's preconceived notions of me, people's preconceived judgments of me wouldn't hold as much merit to them if they saw that I had a doctorate, I had the letters behind my name or the doctor in the front of my name. And also, if I do this, then I could show other young women, other minorities, other multiracial girls who feel like they don't fit in. I could show them that their dreams can come true, that even if people say their goals are too lofty, their dreams are too big, that I'm living proof that they can do it. Regardless of the naysayers, regardless of the doubts, like you can do it. And so those were like the biggest reasons why I told myself, this is why I want to get my doctorate, this is why. And both of them don't still hold the same weight anymore. So I don't really hold the same weight as far as like if someone holds more or less merit for me whether or not I do or don't have my doctorate. Do I think that it does affect how certain people may or may not judge me? Yes, I do. I have experienced that. In fact, I've met people like at networking groups, for example, that have been like, "Oh, you look so young to have your doctorate," right? Like people are always going to have their preconceived judgments, and there's other people like, "Oh my gosh, that's awesome! You have your doctorate." So people have their judgments of that. So is that something that I see? Yes. Is that still a meaning for me? No. Do I still hold really like near and dear to my heart that me wanting to have 5 kids, I still do. I have 3 kids, but I still want to have 5. Wanting to have 5 kids, wanting to get my doctorate, like having these quote unquote lofty goals in life. Do I still care that that can help be a living example for others who feel unheard, disenfranchised, filled with doubts, always questioned by naysayers or knocked down? Do I still care that they can see my life as inspiration for them to be able to achieve what they want to achieve? Yes. Yes, I absolutely do. And I believe in the power of inspiration. And so there was a book I was reading on MLK, and there was one sentence that was like so powerful, and it was like his life was his greatest sermon. And when I read that, I was like, I want my life to be my greatest sermon, right? Like I want my life to be my greatest sermon for when people look at it, maybe they get it, maybe they don't, but at the very least, the people that need inspiration, want inspiration, or seeking inspiration, or resonate with me in some way, that they feel inspired when they see or hear or read about my story. So that is still really, really important to me. But there's another reason that I have discovered over the years as to why I got my doctorate that I was in denial of before. And that reason was because I felt like I had something to prove. I felt like maybe if I do this, then it'll feel like I'm enough in some way. And this was all unconscious. It wasn't something that like I was consciously telling myself, but in retrospect, I can feel that that was a big part of it for me. Like I had something to prove. And hard pill to swallow that was one of the reasons why. But at the same time, I would not change my decision for the world. I wouldn't change it for anything. Because I really believe that the decision that I made to get my doctorate, in addition to the power of inspiration that I know it will serve in my life and the lives of others, which still holds very true, the decision I made to get my doctorate, had I not gotten it, even though it was rooted in significantly rooted into this sense of like needing to prove myself, had I not gotten it, I wouldn't have got to the point in my life where I had achieved all of these lofty goals that I had set. I had marked them all off my list. I had done them all. I had gotten it all done. I'd worked myself hard, sacrificed to get them all done. I did it, all of them. Multiple masters, my clinical license, got my doctorate, had 3 children by the time I was 30, like all of it. I had done all of it. I'd done it, right? I wouldn't have gotten to that place and then realized, holy crap, I still don't feel fulfilled. What am I missing? If I've done all the things, if I set the goals, if I've achieved the things, if I've pushed myself hard, if I've worked really hard, if I've volunteered and given of myself and sacrificed and like if I've done all those things, why do I still not feel fulfilled? I wouldn't have gotten to that place, at least not at that point in my life, had I not gotten my doctorate. And so getting my doctorate served 2 purposes. One, it pushed me, it served as a catalyst for me to really get more clear on what a fulfilling life looks like and feels like for me, so that I could be an example of that for others. And then 2, for me to be able to truly, genuinely share like a real, raw life story of my experiences that helps to inspire others that may be going through something similar in their own way. And so I would not change it for the world. But then the question is, well, but why did you get your doctorate in human sexuality? Like, you went into social work initially. Why human sexuality? And this question came up in a conversation I had the other day as well, and has come up many times before. And it really connects with the work that I do now, which is interesting, right? Because I made the decision to get my doctorate in human sexuality many, 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 many years ago. Like, this is a while ago. And now within these past few years am I seeing how connected that decision was to how connected my purpose and mission that I see so clearly in my life and in my work here now is. It's mind-blowing if you think about it. And so the reason I got my doctorate in human sexuality is because I believe in seeing people as a whole being. And when I went into social work, which I'm not going to go down the road right now, like all the reasons why I went into social work, because that would take us on a tangent. But one of the reasons was because I wanted to help people, right? But I wanted to help the whole person because I knew that what we saw on the outside was so often not what was actually happening on the inside for someone. And one of the reasons I knew that, besides the many people that just naturally came to me to talk in my life in general, was because that was me. The way that I looked on the outside, honor student, gifted student, blah, 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 whatever, like the way that I looked on the outside did not match the way that I felt on the inside. And no one knew it. I was really, really, really good at hiding it. Until they did. A couple people then did find out. But then even then, like, they didn't know what to do with it. They didn't know how to handle that. So they didn't, right? And I wanted to not just see and help the person feel like they were functioning on the outside of life, but to like feel it on the inside. So I always knew that. And so as I moved throughout my experience of social work, I had so many wonderful experiences, and I also had many challenging experiences as well. There was a piece missing around sensuality, sexuality, this more whole being piece that felt for me like, not that it was missing, but that like there was just more. There was more. And so sexuality, human sexuality, to me encompasses that. The whole being, because sexuality isn't just about sexual intercourse at all. That is a little sliver. Human sexuality, human sensuality embraces the whole being, the spiritual being, the physical being, the mental being, the emotional being, the relational being. It embraces the whole being. And to me, even then, even though I didn't quite see it as clearly then as I can now, even then I could feel that that was true. The whole being. We can't just address behavior, right? Like, why am I stuck in these behavior patterns? We can't just address that and then expect someone to feel fulfilled, like they are satisfied with the kind of life that they are living and creating for themselves. It's not enough. It's powerful and it's important, but it's not enough to really feel like you're living inspired, not tired, to really create a life that is in service to that. It's not enough to just address surface level. It's not enough to just address behavior. Those are important. We need to address those 100%. But there's more. There's more. And it's like, how do we put language to it? How do we describe it? How do we conceptualize it? I was trying to, when I was creating my dissertation, I was trying to create a framework, a theoretical model that conceptualized all of these whole being pieces and how it affects the person, in particular the teen mom, because that's who I did my dissertation on, but in general as well, how it plays out for all of us. And I couldn't, like, I have a friend who, maybe she's watching, she's also a therapist, who would sit next to me and like watch me drawing these models and these theoretical frameworks in class, and I just couldn't grasp it. And she would try to put her input in, and I'm just like, oh no, this isn't it. And I couldn't grasp it. And the framework actually wound up being really simple. And it didn't come to me until I branched out into becoming an entrepreneur. Until I did what I did not have a goal of doing. I didn't have a goal of becoming an entrepreneur. I didn't have a goal of starting my own private practice. I didn't have a goal of starting my own coaching business. I did not have goals set for that. I didn't have that goal. But when I did it, it was such a leap of faith because it wasn't premeditated. It wasn't super planned out. I didn't have my 5-year plans with my color codes like I did when I went through school. Like, I didn't have that. And it was something, this path that I took to after I got my doctorate and achieving all those goals, so to speak, and then realizing I still didn't feel fulfilled. Like the life I was creating for myself wasn't bad or wrong, but it was not the kind of deep, inspirational, fulfilling life that I wanted to create for myself. When I realized that, it was jolting. It was unexpected. And actually the beginning parts of the Reset, my new book, kind of walks you through the scene of like when I came to the realization of like this is I'm not just needing to take this step, I'm actually wanting to take this step, and wanting to is enough because it's such a strong desire. It's not a goal, it's a desire. It's a strong desire that feels so clear to me. And so I did, and I did not expect it. The stepping out into entrepreneurship, to becoming my own boss, to creating my own businesses, to serving people in the way that I want to serve them was not it didn't even happen. The journey didn't even happen the way that I thought it would happen once I made the decision that I would let it happen. Like it was a whole experience, and it's going to continue to be. It's such a journey. The entrepreneurial life, the life of really even just creating a different life for yourself, if you really want that transformational difference, is so different than what we could conceptualize right here and right now if we try to like think it all out. And so that was the case for me too. And it was scary to make that decision. But my faith was so much stronger because the inspiration was so strong that that was the route for me to go. And so I'm sharing all of this because I know that many people have dreams. Maybe your dream is to start your own business, or maybe you already started your own business and your dream is to grow your business or to create a different foundation for your business because it's draining you or it's not fulfilling you or in some way. Or maybe your dream is something that you haven't shared with anyone. It's more of a private dream. Or you could have all these different dreams. Maybe your dream is to travel the world in a certain way. Maybe your dream is to create a different kind of lifestyle setup for yourself because the one that you're living right now just feels like robotic and automatic and doesn't feel fulfilling, right? Like whatever your dream is, everyone has their dreams. What I want to share here is that it's easy for dreams to be punched at by doubts, whether those doubts are yours or they're being internalized from other people that are doubting it. It's normal to have that experience. And also, your dreams are your dreams for a reason. And some of those reasons you may not have even come to full realization of yet. Like I was clear on reasons then, but I'm even more clear on some of the reasons now as to why I had some of the dreams, desires, and goals that I had for myself. But if you step out to them, if you're willing to take a risk, to invest in yourself in some different kind of way, to try things a little bit differently, I can almost guarantee you that you could not possibly anticipate A, what that journey will bring you, but B, what you will learn about yourself and how it is you could live a fulfilling life if you truly step out in that direction. So I went off on a couple tangents that I didn't plan for or expect to go off in, and that's okay. I'm going to leave you all here with this today. I'm so glad always to be able to just speak and share whatever this may mean for you, wherever you may resonate with this. And if you ever want to connect or you have questions, I know some people are open to making comments and asking questions in the comments below, please do. And some people aren't. And if that's the case for you, it's okay. I get messages in my inbox, private messages from folks that it resonates and they're just not ready to say that publicly yet. And that's okay too. So I just want you to know that your dreams are worthy of being dreamt and lived out by you. You might not be able to control the timing or all of the pieces of it, but it's there for a reason. Like that seed has been planted for a reason. So you get to water it and nurture it and let it grow and let it be an important part of your life. And if you got doubts that comes up, that's okay, that's normal. But here I am living proof, and I hope to continue to be living proof. I plan to continue to be living proof that you can live a life of inspiration, an inspired, not tired life. So, till later, y'all.